The glory of God is a profound concept, one that is often mentioned throughout the Bible. As the psalmist proclaims, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork," Psalm chapter 19 verse 1. This powerful declaration reveals that everything in creation bears witness to the majesty of God. But what does it truly mean for God to possess glory? In this devotional, we will explore the nature of God's glory, how it manifests in the world, and how we, as believers, can reflect that glory in our lives. The Hebrew word for glory is kavod asterisk, which carries with it two main meanings. First, it signifies weight, force, or power. This understanding of glory emphasizes the overwhelming presence and authority of God, a presence that fills the earth and commands reverence. Second, kavod refers to honor, dignity, greatness, and authority. These attributes highlight the greatness of God's character and the immense respect and admiration he deserves. When we look to the natural world, we see the testimony of God's glory everywhere. The sun, moon, stars, and even the smallest of creatures declare the greatness of their Creator. The beauty and complexity of nature speak to His wisdom, power, and eternal nature. Just as the heavens declare the glory of God, we too, as humans, are invited to acknowledge His splendor through creation. The universe is like a canvas on which God has painted His glory for all to see, a reminder of His power and majesty. Through the stars, mountains, rivers, and all of creation, we see God's glory on display. Unlike human glory, which is often fleeting and temporary, God's glory is eternal. His glory is infinite, indestructible, and will never fade. While kings, leaders, and authorities may hold temporary glory, God alone is worthy of eternal praise and honor. This eternal aspect of God's glory serves as a reminder of His supremacy over all things, and the permanence of His majesty in contrast to the transient nature of human greatness. The Bible teaches that God does not share His glory with anyone else. His glory is indivisible and unique, and no one is worthy of receiving it. This principle is emphasized in passages such as Isaiah chapter 42 verse 8, where God says, "I am the Lord, that is my name. I will not yield my glory to another or my praise to idols." In other words, God's glory is something that belongs solely to Him. No human, no king, no ruler can ever claim His glory because it is tied to His very essence as the Creator of all things. However, in a beautiful paradox, God does share His glory with Jesus Christ, His Son. Jesus, as the fully divine Son of God, possesses the fullness of God's glory. In John chapter 17 verse 5, Jesus prays to the Father, saying, "And now, Father, glorify me in your presence with the glory I had with you before the world began." The glory of God is reflected in Jesus, and through Him, we come to know the Father's greatness. This connection between the Father and the Son shows us that God's glory is perfectly manifested in Jesus, and it is through Jesus that we can access and understand this divine glory. Furthermore, in an astounding display of grace, Jesus grants the glory of God to believers. In John chapter 17 verse 22, Jesus says, "I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one." This statement reveals that the glory of God is not only manifested in Jesus but is also given to those who are saved through Him. By His grace, we share in God's glory, though we are not divine ourselves. This glory equips us to live in a way that honors God, reflecting His greatness to the world. Through our relationship with Christ, we are transformed and empowered to reflect God's glory in our daily lives. As followers of Jesus, we are called to live in a manner worthy of the glory we have received. This means living in obedience to God's commands, loving others selflessly, and proclaiming His goodness wherever we go. Our actions, thoughts, and words should reflect the honor and reverence we have for the Creator, demonstrating His love and grace to everyone we encounter. When we serve others, share the gospel, or show kindness, we are participating in the manifestation of God's glory on earth. Every act of love, justice, and mercy is an opportunity to reflect the glory of God to a world that desperately needs to see it. By living lives that are shaped by God's love, we become vessels through which His glory shines. The more we surrender to God's will and follow the example of Christ, the more His glory is revealed through us. As believers, we are not meant to keep God's glory to ourselves. Instead, we are called to be bearers of His glory, taking His light into the darkest corners of the earth. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31, Paul encourages us, saying, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. Every moment of our lives should be an opportunity to reflect the honor and greatness of God to those around us. Our purpose as Christians is to glorify God in all things, both in our actions and in our attitudes. In conclusion, the glory of God is a multifaceted and awe-inspiring concept that encompasses His power, greatness, and eternal nature. Through creation, through Jesus Christ, and through our lives, we are invited to witness and reflect His glory. As believers, we are called to honor God in everything we do, living in a way that reflects His majesty to the world. The glory of God is not something we merely admire from a distance, but something we experience and participate in every day through our relationship with Him. May we continue to honor His glory by living lives that reflect His greatness, sharing His love, and proclaiming His goodness to all.